Monday. I hope that you are all doing well. It is December, which I can't even believe. It is very Christmassy here. We got, there we go, I got my Stampin' Lips on. We got a snowstorm over the weekend, which I love snow in December, not so much later on. But we got a lovely little blizzard, I guess you could call it, and like 10 inches of snow, and it's snowing again today, which is kind of fun. Not, like if you have to drive anywhere, but I love when there's snow at this time of year because it just makes everything seem more Christmassy. So I'm happy with it. But I know not everybody is as happy as I am. Anyway, it is great to see you guys. I hope that you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. We had a lovely, low-key, quiet kind of Thanksgiving here at our house, which was just wonderful. Seeing my children was lovely. We had Carl for a nice visit. He actually had to leave a little early because of the snowstorm, so he ended up spending a couple of nights at my sister's house because he couldn't quite make it up back before the storm hit there. Long story short, a whole lot of snow, and I think he didn't say a lot, but he did mention that the drive back to school was not pleasant. So anyway, so let's see what else. Let me know where you are watching from. Oh my gosh, Cheryl, you don't have any snow in Colorado? That's terrible. Aren't you supposed to have snow? Isn't that how that works? It is also a little chilly. It was 50 a few days ago, and now it is not. Well, let's see. It's 23 right now, but if there's any wind, there's wind chill. And then it's supposed to get cold again, like really cold. I shouldn't say again, like as cold as it's been for a while. Anyway, I kind of love the snow. I know some of you don't live where there's snow, and yay for you. I love winters. In fact, the first time I ever spent Christmas away from home, it was in Florida. It was my junior, I think it was my junior year of college. Maybe it's my senior year of college. I can't remember. But my husband and I, we must have been engaged then. And we went to his mom's husband's family. His parents were remarried. And they lived in Kissimmee, Florida. And I remember that it was like, I think it got down to like 38 or something. And people were wearing like parkas, like they thought they might freeze to death, which we found rather amusing. So anyway, or no, we must have been in grad school. Maybe we were already married then. I can't even remember anymore. It was a long time ago. No, I swear, no, I was in college. Well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, it was really wild to be somewhere where there was palm trees and no snow for Christmas. I mean, sometimes there's no snow here, but it was pretty wild. I still just was kind of giggly about the fact that that people were so afraid of the cold weather, and I thought, well, gosh, 38, it's pretty warm. Anyway, all right. What is the design on my sweater? They're flowers, I think. Thanks for asking. Flowers. I feel like this feels huge. I suppose as I'm looking at it, it looks like a triceratops or something. I don't know. But it kind of makes me giggle. Oh, Beth Ann, you rarely have a white Christmas, but you've never seen a palm tree. Yeah, it was kind of wild. we were, you know, in Vegas, they started decorating for Christmas out there where they have palm trees. And it was fun to see that, but again, it felt so weird because it was, you know, warm and palm trees. But I always love seeing the ornament or the decorations. This was funny. I don't know if I talked about. I feel like I can't even remember what happened with Carl being home and Thanksgiving and everything. It just felt like so much has happened since we last were together. But we were trying to go to the farmers market back when it was like 50 out. And there was the huge like Holly Dazzle parade. Maybe I did talk about that last time, because it would have been a week ago. Anyway, we had no idea there was a parade going through downtown Davenport, and so it was like they had balloons and everything, which was kind of fun. Um, Except that there was like no place to park for a very long way, and we just gave up on the whole thing. But we did end up going to, so there's this place downtown. Oh my gosh, my dog's just came in here. That scared me. Izzy, come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, guess she got a better offer. There's this cute little restaurant called Me and Billy, and they like decorate big time for the holidays. And so we got to go there. That was actually where we were trying to go. Someone's barking. I'm not sure at what, but anyway, we got to go to that restaurant. And I don't know, do you guys have places that decorate like on steroids for the holidays? It's apparently a thing. I just learned about this last year, I suppose. This place is always decorated, not, I mean, a little over the top, but not insane. But there's a place just like a couple blocks from us that they decorate like out of control over the top. Like it probably limits how much seating they have because it's so much. And you have to have reservations to eat there during the holidays when it's decorated, which we learned when we tried to eat there last year, and they said they had no more bookings left, and I can't remember when it was, but I was just like, oh. Anyway, I noticed they are decorated. But is that like a thing? Do you guys know about that? Have you seen that before? It's really wild that there's like a whole thing where they decorate like crazy. And I mean like obnoxiously decorated. Like you can't see decorated. Like there's a Santa hanging off your shoulder in the booth decorated. Like it's really wild. Anyway, there's a place by us that did that. But the place downtown that I was talking about earlier, they decorate, but not like that. Anyway, I was hoping that last year they had really cool kind of backdrops where you could take pictures, and this year either they were in a different place or we didn't see it. I don't know. Ooh, the barrel house is over the top. There's a barrel house here. I'll have to check that out. We haven't been there in a long time, so I'll have to check that out. Interesting. Is that downtown? Is there a barrel house downtown Dubuque? I can't think right now. Probably downtown, I'm thinking. I've been to El May downtown Dubuque. That's pretty good. That was a couple years ago. I went with Whitney and Becky. That was yummy. They had good food. Okay. Also, Vinnie Venucci. Sorry, I didn't mean to start talking about Dubuque places. Dubuque is like an hour from here, so it's a fun place to visit, also on the river. So there you go. I live really close to the Mississippi, and Dubuque is on the Mississippi as well. Anyway, enough talk about that. I didn't quite mean to go into 10 minutes about Christmas decorations, but we did have the chance to put up our Christmas tree, which made Carl all excited, which was lovely. And I loved it because I didn't have to do it all by myself. Let's just say Andy's not into the decorating. I think he has a little trouble with the ornaments. But we got that tree up, which was really great. And Carl brought a little tree up for his house. He's so cute. He says he just loves living in his house. it's kind of a cool situation because they have like an upstairs where there's two guys and then a downstairs where there's three guys, and there's a kitchen and a bathroom on each level, so they don't have to share with that many people. So him and the guy that live on the main floor, they do he said they do chores on Wednesdays, which cracked me up. So that's sweet. Okay, let's see. What else do I have to share with you? Hello, Chris from Iowa. Hope you are not buried in snow. Oh my gosh. Also, so was it Saturday? Saturday was the day it snowed all day. We just planned on staying home, which was kind of lovely. And I watched like Hallmark movies all day, Christmas movies. Some of them were good and some of them were just like, oh my gosh. Anyway, so that was super fun. I actually really enjoyed that. And I did some painting. I did some cleaning and just a few other random things. So it was just a lovely low-key day. I really enjoyed that. Next weekend is going to be a busy weekend. I did find out about my my daughter's boyfriend's family, they're going to come, or his parents, I should say. And we might meet somewhere, and I think that would really be great because I'm super stressed about this. And she is like hardcore vegan. Ella said a 4th level, not a 5th level. A 5th level doesn't eat anything that casts a shadow. I think that's a joke. I hope anyway. But she gave me a couple of recipes, but like she does not eat cheese or butter. And that takes out a lot of things that I would know how to make. Like a lot of things. So I will keep you posted about that. I am nervous about it because I have no idea what on earth I will make. And I don't know them at all, never met them. So that's nerve-wracking a little bit. I don't know. Do you think that's funny? Oh, Teresa says the Angus barn in Raleigh is decorated. I bet it is. We were there in March and I feel like they still had a couple of little things left. I don't know if they like were missed, but there were still a few things left behind, and we did hear about the decorations and it sounded amazing. Speaking of that, I heard you have to make your reservations like a year in advance there. It sounds really cool. Beth Ann says maybe that's why I haven't met them. Well, I hope it's not about that. I just don't know what I don't know. So it's just his mom that is like that. She just likes whole foods, which I get. I think, I could probably use a little of that in my life, but I don't know how to cook I just don't know how to cook that kind of stuff. And Ella said, like, if she's going somewhere, she'll bring something or she'll plan ahead. But I wouldn't, excuse me, I wouldn't want her to, like, I wouldn't want to invite her for dinner and not have anything she could eat. But at the same time, I have no idea how I could make stuff that she would eat. I'm like, salad? Cater in? I don't know about that. And also, I still don't know if I know of a place that would make stuff that she could eat. I make a really great tomato salad, but I usually put mozzarella cheese in it, like those little balls. Yeah. I don't know about catering in. Anyway, I know we'll figure it out. I will keep you all posted. They have vegan cheese and butter. Oh, really? Well, what is that made from? I don't know. Ella said she eats like tofu stuff, and I don't think she eats eggs. And I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I don't know. It makes me nervous. Well, I get that it's plant-based. I just like, what is it made from? I just don't know about things that say they're meat but aren't. You thought we were meeting somewhere? Well, I wanted to invite them over to our house. But ever since I learned of her dietary, I mean, I knew she didn't eat like meat. I just didn't know how far it went. So this is like way more than vegetarian, right? Um, oh my. Yeah, um it's just, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being vegan. It's just so not how I was raised. Um, I'm from the Midwest. It's like meat and more meat here. Oh, goodness. I know. Doesn't jackfruit replace meat? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Oh my gosh, I love it. Shelly says there are restaurants that say they're vegan. We'll see. I know. See, yeah. Patricia says there's a lot of things in those meat-free products that you don't believe are good for you. I know, right? I agree. Yeah, no dairy. Like, wow. I'm trying to envision how that would be in life. I think I'd be healthier for sure, but I think it would also suck all of the joy out of my life. I like cheese and butter and so many of the things that I'm sure are just 100% not allowed. Anyway, steak is out, right? I know. Like, yeah. Anyway, the pattern on my sweater is a flower. Cheryl says she couldn't be vegan because she loves cheese. I know, it's the same. And like pasta, you know, most pasta, or well, most pasta dishes have cheese in them, some kind of cheese. And I was even thinking, like, one of my favorite things to make is this pasta dish that I usually make with a chicken broth base, but I could do like a vegetable broth, except it has cheese in it. And I don't think she eats pasta either. So it's a whole thing. I wonder if she eats rice. I'm not sure how that would work. Anyway, we don't have to talk about how I'm going to figure this out, but I will keep you posted. um, okay, so next up, we have some stamping to do. I have a card challenge drawing to do. Where are my tickets? Here. And then I'm going to do a new card challenge for you today. I have a fun fold. I had to get my friend's mug. Ooh, there's tickets in here from last time. I got to pull those out. Okay, so let me do my tickets really quick. And let me see here. Just ripping them apart. Okay, so I've got my tickets here in my jar. And if you recall, our challenge from last time was to create a shaker card. And I saw a bunch of people post, and I loved seeing all the different things. It was really a fun one. And then I did another one. It's sitting over on my desk. I did another one just the other day. Was it Friday? That I really thought was super cute. So I hope you saw that. It was like, I made it a little bit smaller so it could be like an ornament. We need to decorate in here. Oh, Whitney will totally do that tomorrow. Yeah, so lots of fun stuff there. Okay, so I'm going to draw my winner, and Gloria Brown, congratulations. You are our winner. I've got a fun bundle for you, so congrats to you. Well done, everybody. And then we are going to make a card today. I'm going to start a project, but then the first card I actually make will be our Funfold card challenge card. So we are going to, let's see, I'm going to flip my camera around so that I can show you. All righty. Ooh, I almost stopped my live. That would have been bad. There we go. All right, I've got a few stamps out. Let's move those out of the way. I was measuring things. Okay, so our first project is going to be starting our second card. I should say the first thing I'm going to do is start making something for our second card. So this is a little watercolor activity. And I have been having the most fun with this. We have been playing in my Paint with Dina. Oh, actually, I have a couple of announcements. Well, actually, I'm going to do this first, and then I'm going to do my announcements, and then I'm going to come back to my card. Okay. So we've been playing in my Paint with Dina with salt, and it just makes such a fun little backgrounds. And there's also some of that can be seen in our designer series paper, which I thought I had out. So in this set of designer paper, which is Elegant Pines, this is like a watercolored paper. So like all these designs were created by watercoloring them. But this right here, this pattern, and there's one other, was made by doing a wash of color on cardstock and then adding salt to it. So it adds a really fun texture and look to cardstock, which I love. Now, some colors react to the salt better than others. So I did a little experiment here, and I tried several different colors on cardstock to see how they would react. So I have Azure Afternoon, Blueberry Bushel, Night of Navy, Misty Moonlight, and Pretty Peacock. You can see in here the salt is on here, and these seem to be dry, so I'm just going to rub the salt off. So some of them leave a little bit more interesting patterns than others. Like I said, not every color kind of comes out exactly the same. I think the blueberry is a little bit because I dropped a huge drip of water on here, and I think that kind of messed with it a little bit. This is probably more what it would look like versus this big, huge blob. But sometimes that happens, you know. This one is Night of Navy. This is kind of fun, but you can see there that navy is a dark blue that has kind of some other color in it, as is this. Like there's this kind of bluish color, but then there's kind of a turquoisey almost color in here. Misty Moonlight is another one where you can see there's a blue color, and then there's also kind of a pinky or red component to it. And then last but not least, we have Pretty Peacock, which is actually my favorite and the one I decided I wanted to use. So this is just an example of what these different colors look like. And so I thought we would have some fun by making a background with this design. And I'm actually going to save this. No, I'm not going to save the salt. You can save the salt and reuse it, but okay, so let me show you what I'm doing. First of all, the most important part of this entire process is that you start with watercolor paper. If you are using anything else, it will not work. And it is just the key to the whole process, the watercolor paper. Anything else just will kind of fall apart. Okay, so what I'm going to do is start with the big wash brush in our water painters. And I'm going to add some water to this. And I do have like a little bowl of water just off the camera because I go through the water in the water painters too fast. Okay, and then as I mentioned, I'm going to use Pretty Peacock. I just loved how this looked with the salt, and I feel like you can see the two shades. You've got Pretty Peacock in there and probably kind of the Lost Lagoon that sort of shows up, which I think is fun. So you want a good amount of that color on there. So you can see I painted some, but I think I'm going to grab my re-inker. So I can get a little more. So I'm just going to put a little bit more color in my ink pad, and then I'm just kind of generously brushing this on, as you can see. And you want to cover your workspace a bit. And I'm just trying to create a background. I don't want the whole thing to be exactly evenly colored. You can see I've got plenty of water, and you want this to be wet. You don't want it to be dry as the color is going on, because you need the salt to absorb that excess water to create that cool background, because that's what happens. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to grab my salt. Now, my preferred type of salt is Morton's Sea Salt Coarse. You can also use kosher salt, but I don't know what it is. Morton's salt is the best. And you're just going to sprinkle it. You can go directly out of the jar, or you can, you know, sprinkle it on by hand. Now, I'm sure the first question you're going to ask is, can you use table salt? And the answer to that is yes. I like the coarse salt because it makes a bigger splash, if you will, than the table salt does. And you might not see anything magical happening quite yet, but let's come back to this and we shall see the magic as it dries. So what I think I'm going to do is grab another piece of scrap paper and transfer this over, and then throw this away because it's kind of wet. And I've got a paper towel because my work surface is already a little dirty. Okay, so it's not a clean activity, but ooh, you can already see, I don't know if you can see this, but there's already, the magic is starting to happen. Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside, and we're gonna let it dry, and I want you to remember this. This is gonna actually be our second project, so we'll come back to that. Okay, so real quick, I just wanted to share a few announcements because there actually are a few things. First off, we have a new product of the month program that is starting tomorrow. It is going to be a monthly thing where when you spend $75, you can purchase the product of the month for $5. And the product is going to vary. There's going to be all kinds of different things. The first product of the month is Designer Series paper, but there will be all kinds of different things. You can only get one per customer. So if you spent $150, you don't get two, you can only get one. This is while supplies last. And you do need to have a Stampin' Up! Account in order to participate. So if you haven't created a Stampin' Up! Account, make sure you do. You, of course, will earn your Stampin' Rewards and all of that on top of it, but you have to hit your $75 after you've redeemed any Stampin' Up! Rewards or coupons or discounts or anything that you might have. So, for instance, if you have some Stampin' Rewards that you want to use, your total needs to be $75 after you've applied the Stampin' Rewards in order to qualify. So if it makes your order go below 75, then you won't qualify for the product of the month. So hopefully that makes sense. I think this is kind of fun and exciting to have this option coming. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I guess that's all I'll say about it. I am curious to see what it's going to be like. I've seen the paper. We got to see it when we were in Vegas, and it is very nice. I think it'll be good, but it is, it's just kind of a fun little fun little promotion that we're going to continue, and it starts tomorrow. Also, it is Cyber Monday, as you know, and Stampin' Up! Has a big sale on prepaid subscriptions. So you can save $20 on a 3-month Paper Pumpkin Papers prepaid subscription. I think it's $40 on a 6-month and $80 on a year-long Paper Pumpkin subscription. Now, if you already have a Paper Pumpkin subscription, cancel it and then redo this prepaid. Otherwise, you will end up with 2 kits. If you have any questions about that, just holler. But it's a really great deal. I purchased mine this morning, so I was kind of excited about that. We haven't really ever had a sale quite like this before, so I think it's a great deal. And you, of course, will earn Stampin' Rewards for your purchase and all that good stuff. So yeah. Yeah, if you do have one, you can put it on hold too. But I feel like, does purchasing the Paper Pumpkin subscription count towards the $75? I think it would, yes, but I don't know because I did mine today and the product of the month doesn't start till tomorrow, which I of course realized after I put my order in. It's not the end of the world because I need to order other things, but I'm not sure. So I would say probably. Yeah. Well, Robin, Paper Pumpkin kind of changed when the website when they got rid of the paperpumpkin.com website and put it all on stampinup.com, and things are a little funky since then. And so that's why I hesitate about that, but I'm not sure. Oh, somebody asked about that in your demonstrator accountability group, and it does not count. Okay, that surprises me a teeny bit. I would actually question that, but I mean, I get it. If your accountability group said that, that's positive. I think we have to wait and see tomorrow. So the answer is maybe. I swear I read in a Q&A that it did, but I apologize. I'm not sure. Okay. Today is also the last day of the ever popular Black Friday sale. As with many sales for Black Friday, this one was a hit. Lots of things sold out really quickly, but it went really great. And so that was awesome. So there are still some blends available if you are interested at I believe the blends were 40% off, so that was a great deal. I checked all my blends and ordered a few so that I could replenish some of my colors that I use quite a bit of, so that is awesome. And then last but not least, my grab box sale is actually, we're getting down there. There are not a lot of boxes left, so they will just automatically end when we sell out, or I will probably pull them down off at the end of this week for the sale, but I am hoping they will sell out. So it would be awesome if you could help me make that happen. We sent a bunch out last week and then the rest will go out tomorrow. So there are accessory boxes, which are things like consumable items, which are cardstock, designer series paper, card kits, ribbons, embellishments, die cut pieces and ephemera, all that kind of stuff. There is a stamp, die, and punch box, which has 10 or more stamp sets in it, plus bundles, coordinating dies, punches, embossing folders, as well as standalone dies, punches, and embossing folders. Everyone has 10 sets plus some extras. That is a huge, huge deal, because I would say they at minimum are like $300 in value. And all of these, by the way, are discounted from how I normally do them, and they will never be this cheap again. I'm just going to throw that right out. They will never be this inexpensive again. And then this is the real whopper, class packet boxes. They are normally $145 and I have them marked at $100. They include 9 class packets with a value between $35 and $70 for each class, which means they're worth $350 to $500, like literally. It includes the PDFs, and if we did send out a few last week, but we'll send out the remainder this week. So yeah, they are just an incredible deal. So are the products new or used? Both. Every box is going to have both new and used products in it. All of the things are retired, though. But they are really quite an incredible deal. And we do really throw as much stuff in there as we possibly can. And you will be impressed with what we can get in a box. I'll just say that. By the way, the cyber sale is through the 9th of December. Okay. The class kit boxes need a coordinating stamp set to complete the projects. Will they? Yes, but, and here's the yes, but. There, obviously, I couldn't possibly offer you 10 classes with 10 coordinating bundles for $100. All of our classes are designed that you can really substitute other things that you have. Obviously, your projects won't look exactly like mine, but they're pretty easy to substitute things. So if you don't have, the flower set we're using, you could use a different flower set that you probably have. But that's a big reason why they're not full price too, They do include a lot of good stuff in them, though. All right, our Advent, today's our first day of Advent. I'm super excited. If you were good and waited to open your Advent boxes, we will have some fun videos heading your way. The first comes out, I want to say on Wednesday, but I'd have to look. I don't think it's tomorrow, but maybe it is. I don't know. You'll be getting emails. If you are not already registered for the Advent calendar, I do have a virtual option where you can get in on the fun. There will be lots of really fun tutorials. I'm actually very excited about them that go along with the contents of the Advent calendar. And because they sold out so quickly, I will also have links to all of the things that I included, just about all the things I included. So there we go with that. Our Sunshine and Creativity delivered box for January, you need to subscribe during December, is going to be out of the new mini catalog, and I'm super excited about it. It is, I can't tell you what the name of it is. I don't remember, but we'll get back to it. Okay, our Stamp Happy Party is an event that is happening next Wednesday, so a week from Wednesday, and it is going to be good. I just saw, it is a gift card holder, I'll just say that, but it's a fun fold, so I'm excited. If you would like to attend, you can join if you're a Stamp Happy Academy subscriber, or if you placed a $35 or more purchase with me during the month of November, you'll be invited. If you order in December, you'll get to join us for the January Stamp Happy Party, so that'll be awesome. Stamp Happy Academy, of course, is our website where we house a new online class every month, as well as 3 exclusive lives, actually 4 with the Stamp Happy Party Live, and all kinds of other fun things, and we would love to have you be a part of it. You can get subscribed today for that. And last but not least, we do have a new online class, but I apparently don't have the printout for it. It is actually kind of a really fun one. It's a year in review, where we're going to take projects that we've done throughout the year and remake them, like our favorite projects. And we're going to remake them with the Petals of Beauty online exclusives, and that, by the way, is this first bundle right here. So like, this is the perfect example of an online class. You don't have to have this to make the projects with us. You can substitute something else if you would like, but you can use this if you would enjoy this to be a part of your collection. But regardless, we'll make some fabulous projects, and I'm really excited about it. So yeah, that's coming up. And then I also have the Hobby Haven All-Star Video Class Bundle is my All-Star PDF for this month. We are making 12 gorgeous projects featuring the Hobby Haven collection of products. They are in that online exclusives that came out last month. Here's the Hobby Haven. And these projects are really fun And I think even if you don't have this, will apply to a lot of different other supplies where you can create something similar. And this is my gift to you, this PDF, with a purchase of $50 or more in my online store. And when you spend $75 or more in my online store, you can also enjoy a free card kit from me. So that's pretty awesome. Anyway, I think that's everything. Oh my gosh. So now we're going to go back and make our projects. And can I just show you really quick? I'm going to make our new card challenge next, but I just wanted to give you a update on the salt. Oh, look at how cool that is. It's not dry yet, so we got to wait. But I just had to bring that in because I looked over and I was like, oh, like it literally kind of made me gasp. Yay. Okay. So back to, I know I'm a little discombobulated today, but hopefully you can follow me. I just knew that salt was going to take a while to dry. So our fun fold this month is going to be a good one, I think. We're going to take and do a little scoring. I've cut a half a sheet of cardstock the hot dog way, if you will, meaning I've cut it at 4 1/4 by 11 inches. And then I'm going to score this at 2 1/8 inches, 4 1/4 inches, and 5 1/2 inches. So that's pretty easy. Okay, and then what we're going to do is fold on our score lines, and I'm going to fold this back, and wait, is that right? I always mess this up. Yes, that's right. Okay. So what I want to do first off is I'm going to take and adhere the spine portion that up to this first score line. I shouldn't say first, it's this section. You get what I mean. Words are hard, I'll tell you that. Okay, so I'm just going to score or adhere this section like so. Okay, then what I need are some pieces of designer series paper. So I've got a 3 by 4 inch piece of paper, which is going to go right here. Then I've got 2 1 inch pieces of paper, which are going to go right here. I've got another 3 by 4 inch piece, which is going to go right here. And then I've got this 1 7/8 inch by 4 piece of designer series paper, which is going to go right here. My card base, by the way, is Secrecy. I don't think I mentioned that. All right. And I don't know if there's a name for this fold or not, but there could be. Now, one of the other things that I did not cut, but I realized I need here is a 3 and I think it's 3 1/4, but let me measure to make sure, by 4 1/4 inch piece of cardstock, which we're going to place over the top here. Okay, Debbie said she just checked and paper pumpkin does not count. Thank you for checking, Debbie. I appreciate that. And sorry, I really thought it would. I wonder, but is that prepaid paper pumpkin or just regular paper pumpkin subscriptions? Because that I could totally see. I'm not trying to like challenge you on this, but yeah. I don't know. And where did my cardstock go? Here we go. I'm trying to find my, oh, here we go. I'm trying to find my measurement for this piece. 3 1/4. Okay. 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So let me quick trim that. Okay. Both. Thank you, Debbie. I love how our little community here can just figure out stuff while we're live. That's so awesome. I appreciate that, you guys. It's not that I didn't trust you. It's just I wanted to be sure. Okay. Sometimes I'm not even sure when I get answers from Stampin' Up. You just gotta be sure. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and adhere this little panel of cardstock. And by the way, I will write all of these dimensions down for you in just a moment. And then you just want to line that up top to bottom, so that looks good. And then this is going to open, as you probably figured that part out already, like that, which is just adorable. Okay, I did alter mine a little bit from the version I have seen before, but all right, I'm gonna adhere this piece of DSP right here, centered. So this is one of my 1x4" pieces. And I'm using the Traditions of Christmas Designer Series paper because it's just so pretty. And I kind of can't stop using it. And it's available. So, you know, it's kind of got all those things going for it. All right, so that looks great. Then I'm going to place this gorgeous piece. This is probably one of my favorite patterns, is this big, large, foily design. So we'll put that right here in the center, like so. And then this piece right here is going to go on the inside, right here, and it'll fit in this little section like that. Okay, so when you open it up, it's just all kinds of pretty. And then finally, we've got this piece, which is going to go right here, but I'm not going to adhere it quite yet because I am going to stamp on it, and we want to make sure we don't mess it up. Okay, so now I want to decorate this, and I wanted to do it in such a way as to not take away from the gorgeousness that is this beautiful background. So I die cut a couple of labels from my traditional labels dies, and thought it would be just so pretty. Okay, let's see. I'm going to stamp this in Secret C. Ooh, I didn't do my salt test on Secret C. Silly me. Well, I should have. I'll have to try that. See how it goes. So from the traditional labels stamp set, I'm going to stamp Season's Greetings on this little label right here, like so, in my Secret C ink. And then this is going to go on top of that gold label that I die cut. And I want to add a little bit of ribbon to this. You could do gold or white or, red or white or Secret C, as I'm going to use. And I'm just going to do a little zigzag of that ribbon. So I kind of want to make sure the size is right, and that does look just lovely. And give that a trim, and then we'll adhere it. Gosh, I love that ribbon. It just is so nice. Okay, so we'll put that on here like so, and then add our Season's Greetings over the top. And then we're going to do a little embellishing in just a moment. I knew I was going to put that in the wrong corner. We'll put it up here. And gosh, is this too far out? Nothing like repositioning half of your dimensionals. I didn't mention this at the beginning when I was chit-chatting with you guys, but I had an interesting delivery problem. So I had a package pickup from UPS, and they took too many packages. they took like an extra package that was actually delivered. So UPS picked up a package that FedEx had delivered to me. I'm assuming mistakenly. And so I called UPS. UPS told me I had to call FedEx. FedEx told me I had to call UPS. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm going to tell you something funny. So I bite my nails when I get stressed. So look at this. This one was kind of bad. I bit this one and and this one, and this one, and this one's broken. All of that happened today. Like this one I really bit. I bit like right through it. And I don't know what it is. I guess there are worse things I could do, but this is bad. I need to get my nails done anyway, but all of this happened this afternoon and I was just like, "Grr!" Anyway, the lady at my local UPS office, after probably an hour of going back and forth, finally said she would look for my box. And actually right before I went live, she called and said, that she had found it out. She said to me, well, do you want to call FedEx and tell them to come pick these boxes up? Because she said they had like 200 boxes. And I don't know where they came from or why UPS had them, but I was like, no, I'm not calling them again. I will tell you that it is much easier to get to an operator calling UPS than it is FedEx. Wow. That was quite a process, I will just tell you. Okay, I am going to take this stamp from the Christmas Greenery and just add it in some Pool Party ink on that inside panel, because I think it just kind of ties everything together so nicely. And then I'm going to add one of the other sentiments from our traditional labels bundle and stamp that right over the top in Secret Sea. Oh, so gorgeous. Isn't that pretty? This is just the most gorgeous bundle. And I hope you guys have been enjoying it because I just love it. All right, so then I'm just going to place my little panel inside here like so. I'm even put it in straight just for you, not crooked. Love it. Okay. All right, we need just a little embellishing. So I'm going to take some of my pearls. These are the In Color pearls. And I'm actually going to use just the cloud cover ones because I think they will look nice. They almost could kind of, they could almost work as like Pool Party in this case, I feel like. So I'm just going to add a few on here like that. Okay. Such a fun card and a little bit different. Okay. Now this design works amazing for all kinds of different patterns of paper, colors. It, of course, doesn't have to be Christmas, just like anything. And I want to show you where the inspiration for this one came from, because this is a gorgeous card I received from a gal named Barbara, who's just the sweetest. And she did this with the Textured Notes bundle and that coordinating cardstock. And look at how fun her card is. I just loved this so much. And this was just a cute little card she sent after On Stage last year. But I just thought this was so cute. So thank you so much, Barbara, for this card. I know I showed it a long time ago, but this is one I keep coming back to, and so I thought this would be perfect to do for our challenge this month. So let me give you those dimensions as promised. I just need to grab a piece of paper to write them on. Okay, so your challenge is to create a card with this design, this layout, and post it in the Stamping with the Creativity Cave card challenge, which will get posted tomorrow. And then again, a congrats to Gloria, who won our winner. So Dolly, it always is in the Stamping with the Creativity Cave Facebook group. There's a link to it in the description of this video. I'm pretty sure you're on there though. Okay, so this is the December 2025 Stamping with the Creativity Cave card challenge. That's a mouthful, isn't it? So we're going to start with a 4 1/4 by 11 inch piece of cardstock, and we're going to score that at 2 1/8, 4 1/4, and 5 1/2 inches. Then you're going to need 2 pieces of 1 by 4 inch DSP, a 3 by 4 inch piece of DSP, a 3¼ by 4¼ inch piece of cardstock, a 3 by 4 inch piece of white or vanilla or whatever for the inside, and then a 1 7/8 by 4 inch piece of DSP, and that's going to go on the inside. That is that piece right there, and that's just so you know for your patterns. These don't have to be the same, but of course I think it looks nice. So there you go. Okay, so that is your challenge for December. Post your card by the end of the month, and then we will do a drawing for a free bundle in the new year. So I hope you will join us for this. It is a great kind of all-purpose card project. Okay, so we've got that. All right, we're going to make one more card, giving our salt a little more time to dry. And this one, this is actually, well, we're not quite doing this in the order, but this is going to use a leftover piece from the card with the salt that we have not yet made. But when I die cut one of the pieces, there was a circle left, so I die cut a snowflake out of the center. And for this, I am using the Snowflake Kisses bundle. So in our salt card, we're actually going to use this die. And as you can see, there's a circle that is cut out of the center. And so this was like a leftover circle piece. So I took that circle and I die cut, I don't know where my snowflake is, but there's a snowflake in this set of dies. It is kind of buried here under my, all my stuff, but I die cut the snowflake out of the center of the circle, and we're going to use the snowflake itself on our salt card, but this is kind of the leftover part. And so I thought, oh, let's turn this into a card because it looks kind of cool. So that's what this is going to be. I'm going to start with a piece of shaded spruce cardstock. We're kind of doing everything out of order today, but I think it's going to be fun. Okay, so this is, as I said, shaded spruce, just a half a sheet of cardstock. Then I've got a 3 and I believe half, yes, 3½ by 4¾ inch piece of Designer Series paper. This is the one from that Delicate Pines collection, which is just so pretty, and I love it because it will work really nicely with one of the other snowflake bundles. We actually have 3 right now, which is kind of wild to me, but we're going to use this pattern of paper, and I think this is so pretty, and it goes so nicely with this, and it is a great excuse for us to use this big wide shaded spruce ribbon, which is gorgeous. So I'm just going to take and put a little piece of this on my cardstock. I'm going to just trim that off. And what I love about this is you can add this to your cardstock without a big, giant knot. Sorry, this pad was open, and honestly, so is this. We'll close them. You can add these to your cardstock without like tying a big bow or a knot to make that bulky by just kind of putting it across your cardstock like this and adhering it, which I think is lovely to do. Okay. And it's even straight. That's pretty good for me. All right, so I've just wrapped that around here, and then I'm going to pop this up. And to help it along, I like to put dimensionals kind of overlapping that ribbon just to sort of hold things in place a little bit more. And because dimensionals were on the sale, I did get a few. I was pretty excited. I was dangerously low on dimensionals, you guys. I only had like 20 packages, and you might think, well, geez, Dina, that's quite a few. I go through a lot of dimensionals. So yeah, a lot of dimensionals. How was the cat visit? Ooh, cat visit. That, I don't know what that is. I know cat visit here. Okay, so now I'm gonna pop this up. I was also thinking this would make a fun little shaker card. You could put this over another piece of cardstock and have something on the inside to kind of, as a shaker element. That would be fun. And yes, I once again went kind of wild with the dimensionals. You don't have to use quite this many, but since I have a lot of dimensionals coming, I can be fast and loose with mine. My remaining 20 packages. You'll be surprised they go pretty quickly. Okay. Oh, so fun. And I just think that is a cute little start to this. And then I've got my little label, which we're going to attach right here. And on here, we are going to stamp one of the sentiments from this stamp set, which, where did I put it? Which actually the stamp set is all sentiments, which I love. And because, you know, we got all this snow, so I've been totally into snowflake cards, of course. So I thought I would stamp, let's see, Let It Snow on here in some shaded spruce ink. And I love how this is kind of looks handwriting-y, which I think is super cute. So we're going to put that right there. And I am trying to decide how I want to put this on here, if I want to adhere it directly or pop it up. I think I'll adhere it directly. So I'll just center that up right on there. And this little strip is from this set of dies, so it's all part of the mix. Okay, so that is cute. And then, so Let It Snow on the outside, and then on the inside, we've got a piece of basic white. Of course, I've cut a piece of coordinating designer series paper. And we'll trim off the excess here. And then add another little coordinating sentiment on the inside, which will be Happy Winter, which I think is super cute. And then I'm just going to attach this to the inside of my card. Now let's embellish the front. Barb's daughter was bringing a cat. Barb's daughter has a cat? This is information I was not aware of. Oh my gosh. Did I know her daughter had a cat? I don't think I did. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I wonder how the cat got along with the dog. I have to ask her about that. She didn't say anything to Kelly and I about that. That's fascinating. She might have put it on Snapchat, and I'm not always good at looking at Snapchat. Okay. Embellishments. Okay, so we have these fun little delightful decorative dots, and the colors are perfect for this. And they kind of have like an iridescent-y look about them, which I think is fun. So let's take and put a couple of these medium-sized ones on either side here. And then we're going to put a nice big one in the middle. And look at how fun that is. Such a simple, quick, easy card, but generally made with the leftovers. So what is the size of the white panel in front, on the front of the card? So if this was 3.5 by 4 3/4, the white is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. Okay, now let's come back to Salty McSalterson, aka the salt card. All right, so let's start by putting together a couple of the parts to this card. We are going to start off with a coordinating Pretty Peacock card base. Of course, that makes sense, right? And then I have die cut a few different pieces. So normally we put a 4 by 5 1/4 of white on the inside, but I cut a 4 by 5 1/4 of Lost Lagoon on the inside. And then there's this little corner piece that I die cut, which by the way, you could make a kind of a frame. I think it's kind of fun. Anyway, that's going to go on the inside of my card, actually, like that. And then I also have a little strip for a sentiment for the, ooh, oh, that was almost real bad. I did rip it a little, but shh, nobody will know. Goodness, don't pull that fragile corner off of your, I did rip this, but I don't think it'll be terribly visible. Shh, don't tell anybody. That did not happen on camera. Okay, no one will know. Okay, so that's the inside of my card, which I think is fun. All right, then I'm going to hold off on the rest. Let's pull the salt back. So if you joined us late, we covered a piece of paper, watercolor paper with Pretty Peacock and water, Pretty Peacock ink and water with our water blender, aqua painter, water painter, whatever these things are called. And then we added salt to it. I like the brand Morton's, and actually brand does matter, believe it or not. And it's sea salt. It works much better than regular salt, but you can use like regular table salt too if you want. It just gives you a different look because this is coarse. You can also use kosher salt. That works really well too. But again, Morton's, the brand, I don't know, whatever's in their salt, it works. Okay, so here is what it looks like. It is just about dry, not quite. So I would caution you and say make sure you let it dry all the way before you do this next step. It's not quite all the way dry. And yes, you can reuse this salt. So I'm going to take and just wipe this off, and then you can actually save this. I usually have like a little container, like, you know, our little containers we've had before. Like these containers. This would be great to put, if you have an empty one, to put this salt on. Now, I would never do this on like a nice light pink card, but if you're doing, you know, a similar color, you can reuse this salt. But at the end of the day, it's salt. It's not real expensive either, right? I'm just saying, if you're in a pinch, you can use used salt. Don't eat it though. Just saying. Don't eat the salt. Okay. So there is our gorgeous background. Now, like I said, this is not quite dry yet. So let's do a little heat to this just to help dry it all the way. And this is watercolor paper. If you did this on regular cardstock, I have no idea what would happen, but it would not be pretty. The regular cardstock cannot handle this amount of water, and I don't even know what would happen with the salt. I mean, it might do something, but it might not. You just never know. So it's very fun to see the results. And like I said, different colors definitely give you different results. So at the beginning, I showed this was just a test of a few different colors I tried out. One thing I just noted, I didn't do Secret Sea. I didn't do Balmy Blue or Lost Lagoon. Those are just some of the blues we have. But you could try this with any color that we have. I just was going for something in the blues because I wanted to make a snowflake card out of it. But again, anything will work. I do know that Pool Party works pretty well with this. Okay, but that wasn't as dark. I wanted something a little more vibrant. So how fun is that, right? All right, I'm going to take and, well, I should say I die cut this little snowflake frame out of a 4x5 1/4 inch piece of white cardstock. So that's going to go right over the top. And to adhere that, I will use my silicone craft sheet with this delightful little silicone pastry brush that I've cut the bristles way down on, and we're going to squirt out some liquid glue. And yes, I could have used multi-purpose adhesive sheets on this, but I usually figure that out after I've already die cut something, so I didn't. And I think this works really well. So I'm just going to put some of this on here. And what I love about this, I used to use a, what do you call it? A sponge. But, well, first off, we don't sell sponges. And second off, the glue gets really built up and globby on here, but this will come right off. You just, once it's dry, you just rub it right off, or you can rub it on the sheet and the little goober will come off pretty easily. So that's kind of nice. Okay, so I'm going to pick that up. I'm going to line it up. These are the same size, these two pieces. I would even encourage you to cut them together just to make sure they are exactly the same size. I did not, but I think we're going to be okay. And we'll just adhere that to that background piece. And how fun is that? Oh, I love it. Okay, so now let's attach this to our card. So beautiful. And I do like putting a little extra adhesive on something like this, just because sometimes you get a little warping with your card stock. It just kind of depends on how it dries. Typically, if it dries slow, it tends to flatten out again, but not always. Sometimes you have to do a little convincing. That's what the extra adhesive is for. So I thought that looked great, and then I wanted to add a sentiment to this. So I die cut a coordinating piece of cardstock with that same little banner that's included in this set of dies, and I'm going to stamp this in not shaded spruce, in Pretty Peacock. Let's see, where did my Pretty Peacock go? It's just right over here. Okay, so here's my Pretty Peacock. Darn it all, I wish I would have grabbed a picture of that. That would have been good. Okay, so I'm going to stamp sending, oh no, I'm going to do warm or happy winter. Right on here, like so. And then I felt like we needed something kind of fun on here. So remember when I die cut the snowflake out of the center of this card? Okay, that's where this came from. So we're going to put that right here, like so, and I will just stick that on with a mini glue dot. And we'll stick it just a teeny bit up from center, and then we'll kind of stick this right down here. Okay, I'm also going to add, it needs a bow or something, right? That's actually a line from Working Girl. Do you guys remember that movie from the, I would assume 80s, I don't even know, with Melanie Griffith and Harrison Ford, where she's going through Sigourney Weaver's closet and she says it needs some bows or something, with this really fancy dress she had that I think it was $6,000 if memory serves. That was a lot of money. I mean, that's a lot of money now, but man, back then, whew. I can't imagine having a $6,000 dress in my wardrobe, or $6,000 anything. That's even a lot for a wedding dress. Okay, so I've got a little bow on here. And then I'm just going to put my little sentiment right over the top. So we're not going to do anything too busy with this, just because, again, the background is kind of the main thing here. And then on the inside of our card, Happy Winter And then on the inside, we're going to say sending warm hugs. And we'll do that on another tag that I die cut from white. And I'll just put that right in the center. Like that. And we'll put that, because it's on the inside, right on. And I just think it's kind of fun that there's this little corner die cut out with our snowflakes. Okay, last but not least, we need some embellishments. Ooh, I kind of feel like these pearls of beauty might just be the right thing. These are really pretty pearls that came out with our latest online exclusives. And I think these white pearls are just the ticket. Ooh. Trish says she's definitely going to try this. Oh, I think you will love it. It's so much fun to play with salt, and give it a try in different colors. I know Trish has paint. I love doing it with paint. It's also fun with our ink colors. So we've got a couple, 3 dots there. Do I want to do any more? Do I not want this dot there? I can't decide. I think I'm going to move it. Do you ever change your mind? Like, I think I'm going to put it right there. Oops. Come on, Dina, get it in the center of the snowflake. I do really like this little frame, though. And then I'm going to put another one over here in the center of this one, and a little one over here in the center of this one, and a little one over here in the center of this one, and one right here in the center of that snowflake, and we're going to call it good. Okay. So fun. But wait, there's more. I think we can all agree that this is definitely a situation for a clear Wink Stella spritzing. So I need to get a new Wink Stella. So not a ton is coming out, but you get the idea. I'm going to spritz this one too, because why wouldn't we? This will hopefully come up on the pictures better, but oh, so fun. I hope you loved my little snowflake cards, because they kind of went together because we used parts and pieces for both. And I hope you'll give the salt technique a try. It's really fun. Again, try different salts. The key though is to make sure that you've got some watercolor paper to make this work. Okay. And yes, Snowflake Kisses is the bundle that I was using for this one. All right, let me bring in my cards. We've got our card challenge card for the month of December. Stamping with the Creativity Cave card challenge is this fun fold that works like that. These are the dimensions. This will all get posted tomorrow. Then, of course, we made our salty snowflake card and our other snowflake card. Lots and lots of snow on my mind, because we've got 10 inches and it's snowing again tonight. So I am actually loving the snow. The pre-Christmas snow is way better than the post-Christmas snow. I'll just tell you that. Anyway, I hope that you guys have a great week. I think I have a blog hop on Wednesday, so watch for that. Otherwise, product of the month starts tomorrow. Grab boxes pricing I will leave up through this week. After that, it's going back up. So make sure to get them. I'm hoping that they will sell out. You could help me with that. It would be really great. We would love to send fun boxes jam-packed full of goodness to your house at a great price. And yeah, lots of fun things happening. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today. I will see you next week. Otherwise, have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Bye, friends.